So, good evening everyone and welcome to part 3 of our new mini-series Road to Legendary, where I tried to achieve my first ever Legendary rank upgrade in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. My name is Panagiotis, and today we will go on and duel with Blue Eyes White Dragon with our main character Kaiba from Dark Side of Dimension. Just two quick notices. My microphone during the recording had a small malfunction, so I could not pick up my original voice recording during the duels. So I decided to do just a small voiceover, so that you get a little bit of the just how it went and how it was. But before I do that, let's just have a small look at how we will play with the Blue Eyes deck. So I have decided to include some small things. You see that I chose the alternative evolution because we need the alternative white dragon. You can see two things that I've changed. I have picked the Xenophont and I have picked the Dawn Knight, which I didn't know that I had in my inventory, but the Dawn Knight could be a pretty important card. As you can see, its effect reads that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one light monster from your deck to the graveyard. Essentially, it means that if we Sage this card will also give us an extra White Stone of Ancients into the graveyard, and Xenophont has the beautiful effect which prevents it from being destroyed for 2 turns, and neither of us can special summon monsters from the graveyards. Yeah, and without any further ado, let's go into the commentary of the duels. So, as you will see, let's just say that my first duels were pretty rough. I will tell you the score of how often I have been defeated and how often that I won. The Blue Eyes deck did not do well in the first duels. I mean, as you can see, already we are in an 0-3 disadvantage. Here I got really lucky that my opponent summoned a monster with 0 attack in attack position, but then again I had to come into reality and face another defeat, so we are 1-4 right now. Another victory against Aroma's, a beautiful deck, so we're 2-4. Yeah, and there I had to quit because I had no out to Medusa, so we're 2-5. 400 life points, 2 dragons. Oh, why did I surrender? Because I only had 400 life points left and he could attack directly, so we're 2-6. Another defeat, which meant we are 2-7. 2-7 is pretty rough. As you can see, it won't get any better. It really won't get any better than you see. So it's a 2-8, and this is perhaps the turning point of this whole upgrade scenario for the Platinum 7. So we got the win here, so we were 3-8 till this point. 3-8. This is pretty bad for a top tier deck. But then back to reality against a Sartorius deck. This was very disturbing. He activated 2 Cup of Aces. He had 2 Rebirth of Parshath. I couldn't do anything. This was pretty pathetic. So it is a 3-9, and we go against Jade and Yuki, where I will now go into commentary. So this is the moment where things got a bit better. As you now know, we have a 3 to 9, I think 3 to 10 statistic. It pretty much was horrific at this point. I was really furious, but then everything started to click a little bit. So you can see we got a simple DD player, and now we also drew the maiden. Maiden was the key to going off with this play. As you can see, we will pull off the sages with the eyes of blue and the maiden combo, like I always saying, the sage and maiden sitting on a tree, summoning 2 blue eyes white dragons but in this case I now the spirit dragon. Spirit dragon just banishes the contract. I mean, why not? Instead of letting me search another DD monster, just let him get beat down. I also decided to alternative evolution this because I really wanted to destroy the Arc with the Arc without damage calculation and so on. But then I decided, yeah, what will I do? Shall I attack with the Dragon Spirit of White? Or should I go into my extra deck? And let me tell you why I chose to go with the extra deck instead of attacking. The reason is because Xenophont in this particular case could be very, very advantageous, because DDs are relying on monsters being in the graveyards or sent from behind to the graveyard for synchro plays, for fusion plays, and so on. The second fact is that Xenophont doesn't allow people like DD players to special summon from their graveyard. So if they have a Night Howl and they want to special summon something from the graveyard, they can't do it when Xenophont is out. So that's my reasoning behind picking Xenophont instead of attacking with the Dragon Spirit of White. But as you can see, he had a follow-up play, and he thought himself, oh, I will get a tie with the Xenophont, but he forgot that Xenophont receives 100 attack points for each monster in both graveyards, so he pushed my Xenophont for around 200 points. And this was the turning point to this duel, because White Stone of Ancients allowed me to OTK my opponent this turn. I was able to banish the Dark from the field and from the graveyard for any follow-up plays. I activated the Xenophont effect to detach my alternative in order to retrieve him back to the hand and special summon him with his own effect. And I was really surprised that I got to see an animation of the Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon. I didn't know that an animation existed of his card, which also was one of the most beautiful I have seen so far in Duel Links. But this gave me the opportunity to attack for a game and win the 4th game. Now this duel was a little bit awkward, and I will show you why. I again drew the Maiden Sage sitting in the tree combo and was able to summon 2 Blue Eyes in 1 turn, but I don't know why, but our opponent had enough for this. I'm not sure what he did. So I summoned my 2 Blue Eyes and I clicked on Alternative Evolution to get the alternative White Dragon. I also had 1 Floodgate Trap Hole to set. I didn't Xyz, I didn't Synchro, I didn't do anything, and our opponent wanted to either quit or his connection really failed him. but this was one of the turning points in this quest for Platinum 7. Yeah, and here, Metaphys. Metaphys, my worst matchup of the day. I lost 2 times to Metaphys. It was really bad. Metaphys was pretty horrific. I had no odds against Metaphys. It was pretty bad. But this is the duel we get a little bit of a turning point, I think. And we play against another Astrid Phoenix. I expected a hero deck, like always. As you can see, he played a hero deck. He tried to pull off his combo like a normal hero guy would do. I was pretty much prepared for everything. As you can see, Maiden was in attack position, so that would have been protected for quite a good amount. So Maiden was pretty important for my strategy, and as you will see, he goes all in. He tries to do his full hero combo, and I'm trying to get as productive as I can. So I tried to protect my Maiden. He tried to protect his heroes and tried to get the best strategy possible against me with the Vion, Ferris and so on. And you can see that he goes all in with his polymerization card. He goes into Adoration. Adoration doesn't mean a thing against Maiden, and I don't know why, but he immediately activated his mask change. I don't know why. Maybe he wanted to end this right here, right now, but he maybe forgot about the Maiden's effect. And as you can see, I'm protected well enough. I had the Maiden protected with a Karma Cut, a Canadia. So as you can see, he attacked the Maiden, so Maiden special summons the blue eyes from the deck. I didn't know why he did this. Apparently he didn't know about Maiden's effect, maybe? I'm not sure. But he tried to attack her again, and I had the freedom of choice. Would I activate Canadia? Would I activate Karma Cut? I think both things were the same. He had no cards in his hand. I decided to activate Canadia. I flipped his Adoration, and essentially this was game. Our opponent scooped immediately after I flipped his Adoration. He didn't have a chance to recover from that. On the next turn I would have easily alternative evolutioned him. I would have gone with the another destruction effect and so on and so forth. Yeah, and this is a duel I was a bit surprised, to be honest. It wasn't a bad hand, but it wasn't the best either. So the only thing I could do was to special summon my Spirit Dragon and hope that my opponent would not do anything crazy. I had a Ballista squad ready, just in case. But as it was to be proven, my opponent was pretty strong. As you can see, yeah, a Cosmic Cyclone from the hand, from the start. I don't know what I would do, but he started pretty well, then went with the Gladiator Beast, and when I saw the Gladiator Beast I was really afraid because they had a lot of strong cards. But then he decided to attack, and I thought to myself, why are you attacking? It doesn't make any sense. So I changed to Azure Eyes to get any protection from card effect and targeting and destruction. He shuffled his Laquari back into his deck and special summoned the boss monster, the Vesperos. But then I said to myself, this is over. This is over because I could special summon my blue eyes from the graveyard and go into a alternative evolution after I had set the karma card, activated the effect of that alternative white dragon, and I immediately went into the battle phase to eliminate my opponent. He was strong, but he made a big mistake. Yeah, so here we had the first chance to upgrade. I mean, we were 3-10 and we got 3 out of the next 4 games, so it wasn't a bad statistic. So we got the chance to upgrade, but our opponent started with a pretty strong charge of the Light Brigade. You can see the Glow Bulbous milled, Raiden got into his hand, and again a solo recharge. I mean, this guy had everything he wanted in his hand. You can see Thunder Dragon Dark, just in case, because he didn't want to hard draw another Thunder Dragon. He milled a Raiden and his Fukurebo. Some pretty obvious choices. Then with Lumina, he dumped the card to special summon his Raiden, or her Raiden, from the graveyard. And now you'll see what happens. He milled a Chaos Sorcerer, he milled a... what is it called? A Thunder Dragon Roar. And the first thing they do is to summon Fortunately Every. That's the strategy. And then this was the killing blow for me, because with Fortunately Every I would have had a big chance to do everything I wanted, but then I bricked into a second Blue Eyes and the game was essentially over. And yeah, you will see what I mean by that. He had the Glowable in his graveyard, which he could, or she could, special summon, and on level 5 plus 1, which equals level 6, is an instant Brionac. And as you can see, and as you will see, he also milled the Bacon Saver to prevent me from attacking anything during my turn. But at this moment I knew that I wouldn't have a turn, because Brionac is perhaps one of the strongest, if not top 5 strongest synchro monsters in this game. He also could search the Thunder Dragon Duel, and this was eventually the game for me. He discarded his 2 random cards which he didn't need. But I activated Karma Card and banished the Fortunately Every, at least preventing her from not being used. But yeah, he wanted to play it out, so he banished and I just decided to scoop. I mean, it was fair play by him. He was pretty strong, but he wanted to play it all through and I didn't want to watch the whole thing. So the next duel is pretty interesting, to say the least. Look at this. I drew a Cosmic Cyclone. I had a complete brick in my hand. I activated Cosmic Cyclone to banished his only back row, and he scooped. And he scooped, just like that. And he gave us the opportunity to rank up again, and this is the way it should have been gone for the whole time. And Blue Eyes versus Blue Eyes to decide who goes up and who goes down. So he started with setting one monster and one as face down. I decided to do almost the same thing, but I just set one extra face down card, and until now it was a waiting game. I didn't know what it is, I didn't know what he would play, but I was guessing that he had some White Stone of Ancients on the field, so I didn't risk it to let him pop up the White Stone and resolve it in the graveyard. I decided to go into the Blue Eyes and just do my plays. I also, I think, activated the skill just to pop one of his monsters, just to see what it is. And to my biggest surprise, it was a Kid Modo Dragon. He played a Kid Modo Dragon in a Blue Eyes deck, but he had an Emperor's Spirit of White in his hand, so he could banish one of my floodgates, which I eventually activated, because why shouldn't I? I mean, it would have been banished anyway. He let it go through, but then I asked myself, oh, what will I do right now? So I decided to make a Vermilion, and Vermilion popped up the back row for me. So in this case I had a free path to the Emperor Spirit of White. Not Emperor Spirit, but Dragon Spirit. As you saw, this was a dimensional prison. Would have been catastrophic for my Vermilion. But I was pretty much set up, and then Deep Eyes came. Completely random Deep Eyes White Dragon, and I couldn't even floodgate him because it was in the damage step. 1200 points of damage, and I could now go into my Blue Eyes White Dragon from my deck. And now it becomes a little bit more awkward. So he draws a card. Afterwards, I'm thinking about what shall I do next? How will I go on? Because Deep Eyes has a pretty strong effect, which reads that if it is destroyed, every other monster on the field is destroyed as well. I didn't want that to happen, so I just drew the card, and I saw, oh, a Maiden. That's pretty nice. That's really nice. And I thought to myself, let me watch the Deep Eyes White Dragon one more time. I special summoned the Dragon Spirit of White and the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, excuse me, because I really wanted to negate the graveyard effect from the Deep Eyes. Eventually, I thought my opponent wanted to scoop, but he didn't, which was quite sad, but it would have been even sadder because I wanted to have a full duel against him. Yeah, so then I decided, yeah, let's just Vermilion the Deep Eyes, banish the Maiden from our hand to destroy the Deep Eyes and negate it with the Dragon Spirit of the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now you may ask yourselves, why didn't I choose one of the stones? To be honest, I don't know myself either, but the thing is that if I banish the wrong stone, I won't get a blue eyes from my deck. Or a blue eyes monster in this case. It was pretty, yeah, let's just say it was pretty interesting. But I banished Maiden. I wouldn't have used her anyway, to be honest with you. And I just special summoned the Dragon Spirit of White. The reason why I did not special summon the blue eyes is because I wanted, just in case everything went terribly wrong, I wanted to alternative evolution into the alternative white dragon, and I wanted to have a blue eyes in the hand by potentially drawing him. And then he flipped Kidmodo Dragon, and I thought to myself, why are you flipping Kidmodo Dragon? And it totally slipped out of my mind that he has drawn a Sage with the eyes of blue. So eventually he could summon 2 blue eyes monsters on the field. One from the hand, which he had added with the stone, and one from the deck. So he summoned the Dragon Spirit of White. Afterwards he tried to banish it. Then Kidmodo Dragon's effect activated. So either way, either he skips the Dragon Spirit of White to summon his blue eyes, or he would just summon the blue eyes by the Kidmodo effect, and he decided to summon it with the Kidmodo effect, which I did not understand, because with that he would have had a clear path towards my Vermilion. He now also had the clear path to the Vermilion, but for some odd reason he did not attack my Vermilion, and I wasn't sure why he did not do that. But since he didn't do that, I said to myself, yes, we have done it. We are on Platinum 7 ranking. I just activated Vermilion to banish one of my stones to destroy the blue eyes. Yeah, and this pretty much was the game. I attacked with Vermilion, and our opponent had no other choice but to scoop it out. And ladies and gentlemen, fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we have officially climbed onto Platinum rank 7, and we are only one step away from becoming legendary for the first time ever. And with that, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Overall, pretty rough ride with many frustrations, but eventually it ended up being a good one because we upgraded to Platinum 7 even with a negative record. Excuse me for all the technical difficulties, but I tried to resolve them as best as I can. And for the next part, expect a new deck to the road to legendary. Until then, stay positive, stay safe. My name is Panagat Status, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.